Hello everyone, welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep, the most comprehensive preparation app for all exams. So you have 100 days for CLAT 23, right? Anxiety, panic, everything is at the peak. And I'm here to help you guide how to properly strategize your last 100 days. इन आखिरी 100 दिनों में तुम्हें क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, किस तरह से तुम स्ट्रैटेजीज बनाओगे, कब तुम मॉक दोगे, मॉक में तुम कैसे डिसाइड करोगे कौन सा सेक्शन पहले देना है, एटसेट्रा. ये सारे प्रॉब्लम्स वी शैल डिस्कस टुडे. सो हाउ आर यू ऑल एंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? यस, गुड इवनिंग गाइस. Right, so this is what we are going to discuss. As you all know, 100 days. Now, you should understand that this is the most crucial time of your entire journey. जो तुमने किया इन 90 डेज से पहले, 100 डेज से पहले, वो तो था जो था, ठीक है. प्रिपरेशन किया, मेहनत किया, खूब लगन से पढ़ाई करी. But now since exam is right here, you can almost see it. Now what to do? Now what happens is, that is where your journey and your effort actually counts. Have you heard of that rabbit tortoise wala story, that oldest fable in the list or in the history of fables? The tortoise keeps moving till the end at a consistent pace, and the rabbit decides to take rests every now and then, and that is what makes him rabbit not finish the race, and tortoise not only win but winning by a huge margin. So that is what happens in a competitive journey also. You don't have to just work for a limited time and then leave everything towards the end. You have to work till the end. Towards the end, your strategy has to change completely depending on what you need the most in that limited time, and that will decide कि आप कौन से कॉलेज में जाते हैं. ट्रस्ट मी, ये 3 महीने डिटरमाइन करेंगे कि तुम्हारा कॉलेज एक्चुअली कौन सा होगा. Okay, so like I told you, you asked me this question yesterday also. So again, my answer would remain the same. Buddy, I have taken a separate session on it. You go and visit that session. That will help you better. मिनिमम मैक्सिमम को डिटरमाइन एग्जाम से पहले नहीं किया जा सकता है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. मिनिमम मार्क्स कितने होने चाहिए, मैक्सिमम मार्क्स कितने होने चाहिए, ये डिपेंड करता है कि एग्जाम का लेवल क्या था, ठीक है, कितना डिफिकल्ट था, कितना इजी था, एटसेट्रा. दैट वुड डिटरमाइन कि एससीज के लिए, ओबीसीज के लिए, एसटी के लिए कौन सा कॉलेज आएगा, राइट. सो saying anything or predicting anything beforehand might be too far-fetched. That's why I don't want to do it. Anyhow, so this is the agenda of the session. I need to change my side. Now we would first study the basics of CLAT, obviously. Then the analytics of every section. Then the strategies that would make you ace the overall section or CLAT. Also, we shall discuss the BYJU'S exam prep plan, how to ace CLAT in 100 days, yes. And we shall solve actual CLAT questions. So the questions that came in CLAT, we shall solve them also so that you really know what is happening. Everybody on app, everybody welcome. Yes, so let us start. Now, CLAT basics. These are the basics. This is the pattern. Everybody is familiar with this pattern, but just to refresh your memory, let's go through it once again. So English language, 30 question, 30 marks. Logical, 30 question, 30 marks. Legal, the maximum and the lengthiest of section, has 40 questions. General knowledge, current affairs including, has 35 questions. Quantitative has 15 questions and thus 15 marks. CLAT 22 was conducted on this date. This year, the consortium has announced that CLAT 23 will be conducted on December 18. You need help? Yes, Ahana, I'm here to help you. What is it that, is there anything specific that you need, or will this session work? Is there anything specific that you need? CLAT Ignite is enough for backlog. Well, since it is a monthly magazine, it would add a lot to your burden, right? You have to do all the magazines and you don't have that much time. So I would suggest you go for a compendium. CLAT Ignite भी पढ़ सकते हैं, but if you, I mean, अगर आपके पास टाइम है और आप किसी तरह से मैनेज कर सकते हैं हर एक मैगजीन को पढ़ना जो भी हर मंथ पे आई है, तो ठीक है. लेकिन अगर तुम्हें एक शॉर्ट रूट अपनाना है तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली गो फॉर एन एनुअल कंपेंडियम. करंट अफेयर्स में देखो, बैकलॉग कवर करने का एक ही तरीका है, आप एक कंपेंडियम उठा लीजिए, एनुअल कंपेंडियम, और उसे पढ़ लीजिए उसे पूरा. Right, study the entire compendium right from the beginning till the end, cover to cover, and one compendium won't do. Okay, you need at least 2 or 3 that would help you properly. एक compendium से काम नहीं चलेगा, 2-3 तो चलेंगे, लगेंगे. Okay, right, so 110 140 magazine per pages per magazine, so you should have started at the right time. अब ये बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है. Understand, you know, reading monthly magazine for revision is too much. So go for a compendium which you find comfortable. कुछ भी पढ़ सकते हो, ठीक है. तो बायजूस का एनुअल कंपेंडियम नहीं आता है, या फिर आता है. कंपेंडियम मतलब वो you know annual, or you know all the information together at one place, that is compendium, right? So इस बार का एग्जाम December 18 को है, सबको पता ही है, ये बात बहुत important है. Now the analysis, these are the number of questions that we are predicting would be there in CLAT 23. Which compendium and from where to buy? Where to buy? You can buy it from anywhere. I mean, किसी भी शॉप पे मिल जाएगा जहाँ पे किताबें मिलती हैं कंपटीशन की. कंपेंडियम आप कोई भी ले सकते हो. मार्केट में 3 नंबर के कंपेंडियम्स आते हैं, प्रतियोगिता दर्पण है, पता नहीं क्या क्या है. जो तुम्हें समझ आता है, जिसे तुम्हें लगता है तुम खत्म कर सकते हो, उसे पढ़ लो, ठीक है. सो गो बाय योर गट, फॉलो योर गट. नाउ these are the number of questions and these are the maximum marks. So English language we are predicting you would face about 28 to 32 questions. Similar in logical. Legal reasoning 35 to 40 questions, that is their trend. I cannot help you in logical reasoning, Satvik Raju. It's not my subject. Okay, I cannot help you, and this is not a section or session on logical reasoning, so I don't know how much help I can give to you. Quantitative technique 13 to 17 questions, maximum 15 actually, not more than 15 questions, right? So this is the tentative pattern of CLAT 2023. This is what I take, okay? This is, like I told you, this is what is going to happen. So the question number would remain the same, 28-30 questions in English and logical, and legal about 40 questions, current affairs about 35 questions, 1 or 2 ऊपर या नीचे. Quantitative 15 questions, 13 to 15 questions, right? So there are just too many students, I'm not able to see all the text. Sanjana, what is it that you asked me? Can you post your question once again? GLC is a good college for law. It is an amazing college for law, Sanjana. It's one of the best colleges in the country. In fact, it is better than a lot of national universities also. That's how good it is. Every renowned lawyer in this country has been a student, an alumni of GLC. That's how good it is. And it's the top college in MHCT, like toppers get it. So you can understand, right? Right. Now CLAT 23 is scheduled to be held on December 18th. This year the consortium has announced this date. Paper pattern will be similar. There is no change, thank God. It had total 150 questions. Similarly, you would have 150 questions, 150 minutes, and 150 questions, 120 minutes, and a negative marking of 0.25, right? Now, these are the important dates. You should know what consortium is going to do. So 17th September is the release of first sample question. We are not releasing it. Consortium will release it. So the consortium, CLAT consortium, will release the first sample paper on 17th of September. Is it possible to clear the exam in this short span of time? Oh, of course it is. Of course. You just have to put a lot of extra hours. You can qualify. ठीक है, आपको थोड़ा सा स्ट्रैटेजी वाइज चलना पड़ता है, थोड़ा सा स्मार्टली चलना पड़ता है. आप सिर्फ उसी चीज को कवर करते हैं जो बहुत एग्जाम में बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और आप लगातार उसे प्रैक्टिस करते रहते हैं, और आप उसे इस तरह से प्रैक्टिस करते हैं कि अगर उससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आता है तो आपका गलत नहीं होगा. तो ये है स्ट्रैटेजी कम टाइम में एग्जाम को क्लियर करने की. ओके. First open campaign visit for registered candidates is also on September 17th. Okay, that was there in actually 22. Sorry, that is going to be there this year. आप campus visit कर सकते हैं. Open campus visit होता है. Anyone can visit any national university. They allow students to come and visit their college so that you can make a better decision. आपको पता चल जाए कि भाई जिस कॉलेज को आप एस्पायर कर रहे हैं वो एक्चुअली है कैसा. कैंटीन, पीजी, etc. Everything you can check out if you have time. I would suggest not do it because that involves a lot of expense and a lot of time which you don't have, right? Now, बिटवीन दिस विंडो 7, 14 और 21, 7 से लेकर 21 तक किसी भी डेट को सेकेंड सैम्पल क्वेश्चन सेट आ सकता है. नाउ दीज सैम्पल क्वेश्चंस आर नॉट डिटर्मिनेटिव ऑफ व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. दे आर नॉट. दे जस्ट गिव यू एन आइडिया ऑफ द पैटर्न or how they're going to be. If you can understand the pattern from the given set of questions that the consortium releases, बहुत help हो जाती है, right? तो आप जब क्वेश्चन पेपर देखते हैं तो आपको वो तरीका समझ आता है जिसमें फिट करके कंसोर्शियम आपसे क्वेश्चंस पूछता है. तो वो सैम्पल पेपर जो कंसोर्शियम ने रिलीज किया है उसी पर मोर और लेस एक्चुअल एग्जाम भी बेस करता है. वही लैंग्वेज होती है, वही सोर्सेज होते हैं, वही पैटर्न होता है, और मोर और लेस जिस टॉपिक पे उन्होंने खुद को स्टिक किया है उसी टॉपिक से वो लोग एग्जाम में भी लगभग क्वेश्चन पूछ लेते हैं. My classes for legal are enough. Oh yes, they are. I'm talking about my paid batches. So the syllabus that we have designed for legal, in fact the syllabus that we have designed for every section for that matter is more than enough. That along with the material, class notes and the practice sets, mock sectional tests available on the portal. Keep doing that also and you will get through a very good college. बस उतना भी करो तो भी एक बहुत अच्छा कॉलेज निकल आएगा, right? So second sample paper is date इस विंडो में रिलीज होगा, which will give you another idea and another practice. You would be practicing from an actual mock that is released by the same authority, so that will give you a lot of edge. So do practice it. 15 till 22 second open campus visit होगी registered candidates के लिए. So if you have registered with CLAT, you can visit the campus for any national university. This is the second visit window. राइट. 23rd से लेकर 31st तक कभी भी थर्ड सैम्पल क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं, राइट. सो दे आर गोइंग टू रिलीज 3 सैम्पल पेपर्स बिफोर द एक्चुअल एग्जाम. दीज 3 सैम्पल पेपर्स कैन सर्व एज एक्चुअल मॉक टेस्ट्स ऑल्सो. तो आप इनको, मेरा सजेशन है, यू गेट देम प्रिंटेड. Okay, instead of solving them on your phone or on your screen, you get them printed like properly and टाइमर लगाइए, 2 घंटे का टाइमर लगाइए और उसे बिल्कुल वैसे ही अटेम्प्ट करिए जैसे कि आप एक्चुअल मॉक दे रहे हैं, सॉरी एक्चुअल क्लैट देते हैं. गॉट इट? सो अटेम्प्ट दीज 3 क्वेश्चन पेपर्स इन दैट मैनर, तभी उसका कुछ रिजल्ट आएगा, वरना कोई फायदा नहीं है. डोंट टेक इट लाइक एनी अदर ऑर्डिनरी मॉक दैट बायजू रिलीजेस और एनी अदर पोर्टल रिलीजेस. These mocks are released by the consortium itself, so you get them printed, you take them like an actual exam, pen and paper, set a timer for 2 hours and do what you would do in your actual exam. तो तुम्हारी ये actual exam की प्रैक्टिस एक बार नहीं 3 बार हो जाएगी. ओके, 3 बार हो जाएगी, तो इसे जरूर करें. राइट. 23 के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट डेट्स. 18 क्लैट 23 का एक्चुअल एग्जाम है, राइट, सबको पता ही है. नाउ दिस इज द प्रीवियस ईयर पैटर्न. एज यू कैन सी, दिस इज द प्रीवियस ईयर पैटर्न. 20 से लेकर 22 तक. As you can see in English, the consistency of the number of questions and passages remain same. 6 passages 20 में आए थे, 21 में भी इतने पैसेज आए और 22 में भी इतने पैसेज आए. अब 23 में कितने आएंगे? 23 में भी इतने ही आएंगे. In English, you would face 6 passages in CLAT 23 also. आंसर कैसे पता लगेगा? आंसर की भी रिलीज होती है. I have given MHCET. It will take admission now after the result, but okay. So it's your choice actually. If I were given a choice between Mumbai National University and GLC, I would go for GLC, honestly. Right, so 23 also you can expect 6 passages only. Similarly, the number of passages haven't changed much in logical. Like there were 5 passages in 20 and there were 6 passages in 20 and 21 and 22 respectively. So yes, in 23 also the number of passages from logical would be around 5 to 6. They might be either 5 or 6 depending on their mindset. Legal reasoning, again the number has remained constant. There are 8 passages for 3 years in a row. This year also there would be 8 passages. There might be 9 also, but not less than 8. Current affairs, the number remains same, thank God. And in quant also the number remains the same. Logical में they can move up and down 1 or 2, increasing the number of passage in the other section. Logical में एक passage को कम ज़्यादा कर सकते हैं, बाकी किसी section में passages same ही रहेंगे. Out of 8 passages, you all know that constitution, contracts, tort and criminal, these are the main topics, right? So out of 8 passage, about 5 are from these. 5 passages जो होते हैं वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, टॉर्ट और क्रिमिनल के अराउंड रिवॉल्व करते हैं. 8 में से 5 passages. 1 passage is generally a miscellaneous topic which can be family. Okay, 2 साल से फैमिली आ रहा है, देखो इस बार क्या आता है. और बाकी 2 पैसेज किसी न्यूज़पेपर से ले लिए जाते हैं. They might be any information relating to a newspaper or a concept, any miscellaneous concept which can be taken from anywhere, a magazine, a newspaper, any source. Any source. संजना, आपकी बातों का जवाब टीम लगातार दे रही है, ठीक है? They're answering you continuously. How to deal with? I'll come to it. I'll come to everything, right? So let me do what I'm doing right now. I'll answer the question. Lengthy को कैसे deal करना है, etc. Okay. Yes. So this is what the legal pattern is. Then there would be two passages that would be from miscellaneous sources. It can be from any source. Hindu हो सकता है, Times of India हो सकता है. It can be any foreign topic. Now the problem that students generally face in legal reasoning is they're too confident about it because they have a lot of information and lot of knowledge of law. So like यहाँ पे तो हम गलती नहीं करेंगे, मैम ने और सुरजीत सर ने बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाया था, राइट? तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. लीगल में सबसे ज़्यादा गलती हो जाती है और लीगल की ही नेगेटिव मार्किंग आपके स्कोर को ऊपर से बिल्कुल नीचे तक ले आती है, क्योंकि लीगल कंफ्यूजिंग है. ओके, आपकी नॉलेज ऑथर की टोन से, उसकी थीम से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कर जाती है और आप जानते हुए भी क्वेश्चन को गलत कर देते हैं. दिस हैपेंस अ लॉट विद स्टूडेंट्स, स्पेशली इन लीगल सेक्शन. ओके, you started from August. What to do? What to do? This पहले तो you listen to me carefully, you would understand what to do. Okay, you also have 3 months only. So if you have covered a lot, I would suggest that you start practicing what you have studied. Focus on the important batches and not batches, focus on the important topics and just keep practicing. Sectional test, mocks, as many as you can do, right? So yes, I was telling you the two passages would be absolutely like from something that you may never have read before, but those passages would be very easy, easier than all the other 6. So do not get panicked if you face any unfamiliar topic in the legal reasoning. The unfamiliar topic will be the easiest and the questions formed would also be very easy. Treat it like any other unseen passage that you have seen and faced in your school exams. Just do it that way and you will be able to get good marks. Okay. Now the level of difficulty in the previous years was following. In CLAT 2020, the paper was relatively easy when it came to English. Logical was moderate. Legal was lengthy. And because of the length, I declared it to be a moderate level paper. Okay, it was not difficult, but it was moderate because it was pretty lengthy. Current affairs were moderate and quantitative was very easy. Now in CLAT 21, the level of difficulty changed. English language was easy to moderate depending on how much you practiced and how good your English is. Then logical reasoning, we had a moderate level. It was not extremely difficult, but it wasn't that easy also. So you should have been well versed with the topics. Then legal reasoning, again, you can never expect legal reasoning to be on the easier side because that is the tie breaking section. उसी से टाई ब्रेक किया जाता है, उसी से पता चलता है कि भाई आपको कौन सा कॉलेज मिलेगा. अगर मार्क्स के बीच में क्लैश है तो ये सेक्शन कभी भी इजी तो होगा ही नहीं, और ये अपनी लेंथ की वजह से जनरली हमेशा मॉडरेट के लेवल पे ही रहता है. Okay, no matter how easy it is, it will never be easy for you. It will always be moderate for you because length makes it a little complicated. Time कम है पेपर में, just 120 minutes, and they increase the length so much so that you get confused in other sections कि भाई अब इसको मैनेज करते हुए, इतने लेंदी सेक्शन को मैनेज करते हुए बाकी क्वेश्चंस कैसे करें. यहाँ पे आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी, आपकी रीडिंग स्किल, आपकी प्रैक्टिस काम आती है और आप लंबे सेक्शन को भी बहुत कम टाइम में या फिर एक आइडियल टाइम में अटेम्प्ट कर लेते हैं. 25 से 35 मिनट्स, 30 मिनट से ज़्यादा आप लीगल पे नहीं दे सकते. अगर इससे 31 मिनट्स भी हो जाते हैं तो कोई ना कोई क्वेश्चन ज़रूर छूट जाएगा. ठीक है, तो 25 से 30 मिनट, मैक्सिमम 30 मिनट्स आप लीगल को दे सकते हैं और वो भी आप 3rd नंबर पे देंगे. 30 से 31st मिनट भी होता है तो जितने क्वेश्चंस रह गए लीगल में उन्हें तुरंत छोड़ दीजिए, बाकी पर आ जाइए. ओके, उन्हें बाद में देखना अगर टाइम बचता है तो. अगर उनको भी करने में लग गए तो बाकी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस मिस हो जाएंगे. तो ये एक तरीका है टाइम को सेव करने का. करंट अफेयर्स पिछले 2 सालों से मॉडरेट लेवल पे आ रहा था, लेकिन इस बार क्लैट 2022 में करंट अफेयर्स बहुत ईजी था, बहुत ईजी था. इनफैक्ट वो सारे टॉपिक्स आए थे जो आपने ऑलरेडी प्रेडिक्ट कर रखे थे, जो आपको बताए गए थे कि भाई इन टॉपिक्स में से क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, और फॉर्चुनेटली सब उन्हीं टॉपिक्स में से क्वेश्चन आए. तो इट वाज इजी. ओके, बट इट वाज इजी फॉर students who studied. It was not easy for students who just had 1-2 months ka information in their notebook. The students who had been preparing for some time, like they had been studying current affairs for at least 7 to 8 months, would have found current affairs in 22 easy, but not everyone. Right? So current affairs this year also you can expect it to be moderate. It will not be super easy, but it will be a section which is the least time taking. इस सेक्शन में सबसे कम टाइम लगता है because it's a very straightforward section, yes or no section. You either know the answer or you don't know the answer. So if you know it, you immediately select or answer the question. If you don't know it, it's not likely that the answer will come to you later on when you relax or when you ease into the exam. The answer will not come to you. वो इन्फॉर्मेशन या तो तुम्हें पता है या फिर नहीं पता है, तो तुम तुरंत वो सारे क्वेश्चंस करो जो तुम्हें आते हैं और उन्हें मत करो जो नहीं आते हैं, क्योंकि नेगेटिव मार्किंग है पेपर में. अगर तुम ओवर जीलस होकर अक्कड़ बक्कड़ बम्बे बो खेलने लगोगे तो नेगेटिव मार्किंग के ट्रैप पे फंस जाओगे. इसलिए सिर्फ वही क्वेश्चंस करो करंट अफेयर्स में जो तुम्हें आते हैं. जो क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं आप उन्हें बिल्कुल छोड़ दीजिए. ये एडवेंचरस नेचर जो है, ये गैसिंग वर्क जो है, उन सेक्शंस में अप्लाई करिए जहां पे आप आंसर को डिराइव कर सकते हैं. इस सेक्शन में आप आंसर को डिराइव नहीं कर सकते तो अटेम्प्ट भी मत करिए. 5 to 7 मिनट्स या 5 to 10 मिनट्स में ये सेक्शन पूरा हो जाना चाहिए अगर आपको क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो, right? Like I told you, you either know it or you don't know it. So you know it, tick it. If you don't know it, leave it. That's how you proceed in GK current affairs. Got it? Now we have quantitative techniques. Quantitative techniques is not that complicated. In fact, in 22, it was the easiest of all. And students who practiced even a little bit would have secured 15 out of 15. That's how easy it was. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास 11th 12th में मैथमेटिक्स ही होनी चाहिए. यस प्रियंका, जो आपकी स्ट्रेंथ है, जो आपको आता है वही करना चाहिए, जो नहीं आता है उसे लीव कर देना चाहिए. आप मतलब एंड में उन क्वेश्चंस को करिए, लेकिन उस टाइम पे मत करिए, क्योंकि अगर आप उनको सॉल्व करने लग जाएंगे तो बहुत सारा टाइम खर्च हो जाएगा और क्लैट में आपके पास टाइम ही नहीं है. That is the biggest drawback of this paper. You don't have time and the paper is lengthy. There are so many passages guys. Passage हर question के लिए passage है और passage पढ़े बिना तुम question को answer कर भी नहीं सकते. तो अगर तुम ऐसा करते हो कि भाई नहीं मैं सारे question solve करूंगा तो तुम फंस जाओगे. पेपर छूट जाएगा, question गलत हो जाएंगे, जो किए हैं उनके भी मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे. इसलिए सिर्फ वही क्वेश्चंस करिए जो आपको आते हैं. ये एक्सपेरिमेंट आप तब करें जब आपके पास टाइम बच रहा है. इफ यू आर लेफ्ट विद टाइम यू कैन एक्सपेरिमेंट, maybe try the questions that you did not know, but if you don't have time just focus on the questions that you know. Another thing that I want you to remember every minute of every day till the day of your exam is do not maximize your attempts guys. Don't do it. Your objective should not be to attempt as many questions as possible. No, you need to get as many correct questions as possible. आपका एजेंडा ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं 120 मिनट में 120 मिनट्स में 2 घंटे में जितने क्वेश्चंस हो सके उतने करूंगा. नहीं, your agenda needs to be I will do the maximum correct questions. I will do as many questions as I can correctly, not as many as I can. There is a condition precedent, there is a prerequisite. You need to do as many correct questions as you can. Attempt them correctly, right? Then only you are in the safe zone. In order to stay in the safe zone, this should be your agenda. जितने आते हैं, जितने सही कर सकता हूं उतने करूंगा, right? जो नहीं आते हैं उनमें एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करूंगा. नेगेटिव मार्किंग के पेपर में आपको ऐसे ही आगे बढ़ना होता है. दैट्स हाउ यू प्रोसीड. तो आपने जितना किया है उसी बेसिस पर आपका स्कोर अच्छा हो जाता है और जितने आपने छोड़ दिए उनका एडिशनल मार्क कट नहीं होता. Got it? So this is what you need to focus on. Do not be overzealous. Do not experiment in the middle of the exam. Okay. रश्मि, miscellaneous topics को study नहीं किया जा सकता. There is no saying as to what miscellaneous law can be. There are too many laws. Okay, so if you are thinking about reading all of them, it is not possible. IPR है, इंटरनेशनल है, फैमिली है, CPC है, CRPC है, अडल्टरेशन का कोई लॉ है, पता नहीं किस चीज का लॉ है, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस है. There are so many laws you can't imagine. So do not worry what is there in miscellaneous. It's not your domain. Just focus on the 4 important laws that are there: Constitution, contracts, tort, and criminal. Maximum questions would be there from these topics. Miscellaneous topics से जो भी होता है, just read it and solve the questions. You can do it. If you are good at reading, if you are good in English, if you can understand English, you can do those passages without studying any other miscellaneous law. Yes, so this is a common trend. Negative marking में हमेशा ही ऐसा होता है. This is what happens. Students start experimenting with negative marking. You cannot do that. Don't do that. Okay, do not maximize attempt in negative marking paper. Maximize the number of correct questions or the correct answers for that matter. Okay, that's how you proceed. Quantitative technique is a difficult zone for most of the students. According to them, this is an anathema, a restrictive zone which they are not allowed to enter or something. It is not. Basic arithmetic, 9th, 10th. Everybody knows it, everybody did it. That's what you need to do. There's no integration, differentiation, algebra, etc. These are pretty basic questions that you can do in a limited time and get the maximum score possible. All you need to do is practice a little bit every day. 5 questions, 5 to 10 questions every day will do the job. Just this much practice in quantitative and you can score above 10. Trust me, you can score above 10. You can even score 15 out of 15. Just 5 to 10 questions every day, not more. Right? So 15-20 minutes or 25 minutes for quantitative every day and you can do it. आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मेरा वीकेस्ट सेक्शन है, क्यों है तुम्हारा वीकेस्ट सेक्शन? हाउ डू यू नो इट इज योर वीकेस्ट सेक्शन? व्हेन यू अटेम्प्टेड मैथमेटिक्स इन योर स्कूल देयर वर मेनी अदर टॉपिक्स, बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स थे. क्या आपको परसेंटेज निकालनी नहीं आती? क्या आप नहीं बता सकते कि 100 का 20% क्या होगा या 20 का 1% क्या होगा? क्या आप बेसिक अरिथमेटिक नहीं जानते? सब्ट्रैक्शन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, एडिशन, रेशियो, प्रपोर्शन, दीज आर द मोस्ट बेसिक क्वेश्चंस एंड यू हैव बीन डूइंग देम सिंस यू स्टार्टेड विद मैथमेटिक्स. ये तब के क्वेश्चंस हैं और ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम्हें बिल्कुल 1 मिलियन का 0.25% पूछ लिया जाएगा कि भाई 1 मिलियन है, 10 मिलियन है, उसका 0.2526% निकालो. ऐसा भी नहीं है. एक बहुत ही बेसिक सा क्वेश्चन है, बहुत ही बेसिक सा सेक्शन है. थोड़ी थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस करनी है. 5 से 10 क्वेश्चन भी रोज प्रैक्टिस करो और इसी में तुम्हारा पूरा क्वांट कवर हो जाएगा. इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं करना. अजूम करके चलोगे कि यार मेरा वीकेस्ट टॉपिक है, मैं तो कर ही नहीं सकती या कर ही नहीं सकता, तो ऑब्वियसली वीक हो जाएगा. So do not believe anything until don't speculate on any topic. Don't do it. Okay. Try practicing it before you start predicting or assuming that I am bad at it. How do you know you are bad at it? Come on. I don't like that negative attitude, guys. Okay, so do it first. 5 to 10 questions. Listen to me coming from personal experience. 5 to 10 questions every day. That's enough. Okay. इस मंथली कंपेंडियम जैसी कोई चीज नहीं होती. कंपेंडियम का मतलब ही होता है सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एक ही जगह इकट्ठी. तो कंपेंडियम एनुअली आता है. ओके, तो मंथली तो मैगजीन्स ले लो, कंपेंडियम क्यों लोगे? तो एक एनुअल कंपेंडियम ले लो, एटलीस्ट 2, एंड do that. Yes. Now section wise analysis. Let's start. English language. The length of passages were 300 to 500 words. The topics were these. इससे हम पता लगाएंगे या हम we'll try to predict what topics we might face in CLAT 23. So current affairs, economy, politics, health, literature, science and technology, COVID education, ecology and sociology. These were the topics. Okay, in between 20 and 2022. The sources were editorials from national newspapers, books and short stories. The type of questions were direct, indirect, vocabulary based questions, critical reasoning based questions. So this is what they have focused on 3 years in a row. The syllabus is not going to change overnight. This is what they're going to focus on this year also. There are some additional topics that you may discuss with your respective faculty. They will tell you what more can you focus on to do well in English. Okay, the syllabus is not that much. It is not extreme. It is exhaustive. You can prepare a handful and still secure very well. थोड़े से प्रिपरेशन में आप इंग्लिश में बहुत अच्छा कर सकते हैं. बस इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स पे स्टिक करिए. 3 सालों में इस चीज पे फोकस किया है. इसके साथ कोई और एडिशनल टॉपिक्स जो एग्जाम में आ सकता है वो अपने रेस्पेक्टिव फैकल्टी से पूछ लीजिए और उन्हीं के पैसेजेस को प्रैक्टिस करते रहिए. आपका इंग्लिश कवर हो जाएगा. ठीक है, दैट्स इट. यू डोंट नीड एनीथिंग मोर. These were the sources. As you can see, in CLAT 2021, there were 3 passages from other sources. 1 passage from novels, 1 was from magazine, any magazine, 1 was from Hindu. Okay, in CLAT 21, sorry. Now in 22, 3 passages were from अदर सोर्सेस, लाइक कंप्लीटली अदर्स. हिंदू, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, मैगजीन्स वगैरह से कुछ नहीं आया, अलग पैसेजेस आए, कुछ अदर ही सोर्सेस थे उनके, राइट. 22 का पैटर्न थोड़ा सा डिवर्स था. दे एक्चुअली इनकॉर्पोरेटेड समथिंग फ्रॉम एवरीवेयर. सो देयर वाज वन पैसेज फ्रॉम हिंदू, वन फ्रॉम टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया, 3 वर फ्रॉम नॉवेल्स एंड स्टोरीज एंड वन was from other novels. कहीं से भी आ सकता है. प्रियंका, you cannot cover everything. ठीक है, what am I saying, what am I emphasizing? I'm telling you, you cannot cover each and every single thing. It's too much. कितना कवर कर लोगे? नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, तो अपनी रीडिंग पे फोकस करो, पैसेजेस प्रैक्टिस करते रहो. कौन सी कहानी आएगी, कौन से नॉवल से आएगी, ये किसको पता है? मतलब सोचने वाली बात है. कैसे पता हो सकता है? किसी को नहीं पता हो सकता. कोई लिमिट तो है नहीं सोर्सेस की. तो आप अपनी रीडिंग पे फोकस करिए, पैसेजेस को सॉल्व करते रहिए. इंग्लिश के जो बेसिक क्वेश्चंस हैं जो एग्जाम में जनरली पूछे जाते हैं, वोकैब हो गया, सीआर हो गया, जो भी आपका सिलेबस है, ग्रामर एटसेट्रा, उनको बार बार प्रैक्टिस करिए. उनका जो प्रिंसिपल है, फिलॉसफी है, उनको रिवाइज करिए और बस हो गया काम आपका. अब अगर नॉवेल्स या स्टोरीज से कोई क्वेश्चन आ भी जाता है तो तुमसे ये थोड़ी पूछा जाएगा कि भाई इसका राइटर कौन था. नहीं पूछा जाएगा ना. इंग्लिश का सेक्शन है तो इंग्लिश से रिलेटेड ही क्वेश्चन होगा. तो जो क्वेश्चन है, जो टॉपिक है, कंसेप्ट है, उस पे फोकस करो rather than where it is coming from. You cannot predict that. You can only do something to strengthen your concept so that you can solve the questions no matter where they come from. Okay. Last 5 year analysis, this is what we have analyzed from education sector or from education point of view. This is what we have gathered. 5.88% आ सकता है, आया है. COVID-19 से कुछ इतना परसेंटेज है. COVID is still, a big topic and one passage or maybe 2 can come. Economy and history again similar percentage. बिजनेस पे काफी फोकस कर देते हैं. तो बिजनेस का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप बिजनेस स्टडीज को पढ़ने लगेंगे, राइट. यू अगेन, लाइक आई सेड, सोर्सेज आर इमटेरियल. They are immaterial. The only thing is how good are you in your concepts. So what the passage say is not really something that you can focus on or predict. No. Fiction, they focus a lot on fiction because it is easy to form questions out of fictional passages. तो fiction से questions बेहतर बनते हैं और fictional passages को solve करना भी ज़्यादा easy होता है क्योंकि उन्हें समझना easy होता है. अब ये बिजनेस, इकोनॉमी और एजुकेशन पे अगर पैसेज आ जाता है या पॉलिटिक्स या साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी से तो वो थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग हो जाता है. ठीक है, उसको समझने में टाइम लग जाता है, थोड़ा सा परेशानी होती है. बट इफ इट इज फ्रॉम अ फिक्शनल सोर्स इट इज ईजियर टू अंडरस्टैंड. नाउ द बेस्ट वे टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज पैसेजेस इज टू रीड न्यूज़पेपर्स. देयर इज नो अदर वे. इफ यू स्टार्ट रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स, नो योर रीडिंग विल डेवलप. यू विल स्टार्ट गेटिंग द जिस्ट ऑफ इट, द हैंग ऑफ इट. पैसेज समझ आ जाएगा तो क्वेश्चन भी हो जाएंगे. इसलिए द बेस्ट वे टू कवर एनीथिंग इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज इज टू रीड न्यूज़पेपर. Right, and cover one or two news from every section. Read a little bit of economy, read a little bit of business, a little bit of science and tech. Try to understand what the author is saying. Try to understand what the news or information is trying to tell you. What information or what significance does that information have in your preparation. So try to understand it, and that is one way to cover. Which compendium is best, Vision IAS or Drishti IAS? I prefer Drishti more because it is easier to comprehend. Vision is too much. Like, it is OMG too much. That's how lengthy it is. So are you sure you have that kind of time, and do you possess that patience and understanding to understand UPSC level current affairs? जब भी आप कंपेंडियम खरीदें या सेलेक्ट करें, अपने लेवल को भी देख लीजिए. मैं पढ़ लूँगा या नहीं, या मैं समझ लूँगा या नहीं. ठीक है, इस चीज़ को भी इक्वेशन में फैक्टर करके किताबों को खरीदना होता है. तो अगर तुमने खरीद ली क्योंकि मोटी है तो तुम्हें लगता है कि अरे सब कुछ आ जाएगा, इसमें सब कुछ कवर हो जाएगा, और तुम पूरा ही नहीं पढ़ पाए या उसे समझ ही नहीं पाए तो क्या फ़ायदा, राइट. तो वो बुक खरीदो जो समझ आती है. भले ही उसके जैसी 2 और खरीद लो, बट खरीदो वही जो पढ़ सकते हो, फिनिश कर सकते हो और समझ सकते हो, और उसे 2-3 बार फिनिश कर दो. इस तरह से करिए अपनी करंट अफेयर्स की प्रिपरेशन. ठीक है. How to determine that the news is important from exam point of view or not? That's a very good question. See, if everybody is talking about it, if there are debates, discussions, and people are sort of discussing, if that topic or that news have become a common drawing room topic discussion of every household, it means that it is important. That is how you determine whether a news is important or not. So generally, if anything is creating an outrage on a national level, it is important. But if something is happening in a state which is, which try to understand from an examiner's point of view. If you would have been an examiner, what information would you focus on? आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि आपके स्टूडेंट को क्या पता होना चाहिए? What would you expect from your student? What do you think your student should know? Right? What do you think your student should have known before he started taking the exam or before he started preparing for the exam? Think from that point of view, and automatically you will start extracting. Yeah, this is something that everybody should know. Everybody is talking about it. Every political media house is talking about it. Every Papa or Dadaji is having a discussion, an opinionated discussion about it. So yes, local news are not important unless the local news has created a national outrage, right? Like I said, the more impact it creates, the more important it becomes. Higher the impact, greater the significance. Less impact, no significance. Got it? That's how you measure the significance. Okay. Naga Varun, I will come to each and everything one by one. I cannot jump on it. Okay. So no matter how many times you say, I would come to it when the time comes. Right. I cannot skip the slides. Got it? You need to watch the complete video. Now, sorry. So 35% of the RCs are coming from science and technology. This is what we have concluded after analyzing the pattern of 5 years, even when the pattern was different before 2020 also. Compendium for CLAT, you can, what did I say? I just told you, buy anything that you find comfortable, that you can finish. Okay, I don't know names of each and every magazine that is available. If you want to, I would go for Pratyogata Darpan. I trust it. Okay, so I normally select PD for my preparation. So if you want to know what I would select, you can go for PD. Right? Yeah. Yes, so they're focusing a lot on science and technology, partially because, science and technology might have a lot to begin with and the question forming becomes easier, or I don't know, they just want to confuse you, make the passages lengthy and non-comprehensible so that when you read the passage, oh my God, it is talking about a missile. I hope it does not ask me about the technology involved. So it does not happen. Okay, even though they are focusing on science and technology, they still expect you only to know the English part of it. Right, so try to focus on the concepts only. Now, business and fiction are important genres to prepare from. So if you are reading a newspaper, I would suggest read the science and tech section also, so that you can get the hang of it, so that you can understand the passages. For all you know, a passage might come from a familiar source, right? So the suggestion in this is read the science tech portion of the newspaper. Whichever newspaper you are referring to for your preparation, read the science tech portion. Don't ignore it. It is important from English point of view. Okay, if a familiar article or a familiar information comes, बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा. You'll feel happy, very encouraged. Now logical, the length of passages is relatively short, 250 to 350 words maximum. The topics have been these, again, education, economy, politics, health, COVID, philosophy, psychology, biodiversity, geography, culture, lifestyle and sociology, right? So they also refer to miscellaneous sources. It can be a newspaper, a book, a short story, anything that they fancy at that moment. The type of questions are inference, assumption, conclusion, fact-based and critical reasoning questions. This is what they have focused on. Okay, from 2020 till 2022, this is what they have focused on, and there's a high chance again that they would focus on the same topics. Now, again, the same suggestion. If there is an additional topic apart from this that you need to focus upon, but because it hasn't been asked since the past 3 years and it might be asked this year, your faculty will let you know. Practice questions from those topics as well. जो 3 सालों में नहीं आया है वो चौथे साल भी नहीं आएगा, ये जरूरी नहीं है. It might come. So if there is a topic that has not been there for 3 years in a row, practice it a little bit more because there is a chance that it might be there this year. Okay. Now, this is what we have derived. These are the sources. 2 from other sources, 2 from magazines, 2 from Times of India in 2022. In 21, all 4 passages, actually out of 6, 4 passages were from the Indian Express and 1 was from Times of India, 1 was from others. When it comes to logical reasoning, Times of India play an important role. It plays an important role. All 3 years, every year had 1 passage from Times of India. Now, it doesn't mean that you would stop reading the Hindu and you would start reading Times of India. No. Like I said, even if they are, they basically cover all the sources. They try to diversify. They don't stick to one newspaper for all the sections. They try to pick up everything, something from everything. Okay, so but you cannot over diversify yourself. आप अपनी preparation में ये over diversification नहीं ला सकते, confusion और बहुत सारी anxiety हो जाएगी. Stick to limited sources. Like I said, it is after all your understanding of the topic and the concept that matters, not the source from which the passage is taken. आप कंसेप्ट में कितने अच्छे हैं, आप क्वेश्चंस को कितने अच्छे से समझते हैं, वो टॉपिक आपको कितने अच्छे से आता है, ये मैटर करता है. ये मैटर नहीं करता कि वो पैसेज कहाँ से आया था. तो यार टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया से हर साल एक पैसेज आ जा रहा है तो मैं पूरा टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया साल भर का पढ़ डालता हूँ. डोंट डू दैट. ओके, डू नॉट read any. Do not over diversify. Stick to your sources. Stick to the sources that you find comfortable. No matter what those sources are. वो हिंदू हो सकता है, एक्सप्रेस हो सकता है, टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया हो सकता है, कोई और मैगजीन, जिसे भी आप पढ़ना चाहें उसे पढ़िए. आपको आफ्टर ऑल रीडिंग प्रैक्टिस करनी है. क्वेश्चंस तो वैसे भी न्यूज़पेपर्स में और मैगजीन्स में नहीं होते हैं. क्वेश्चंस तो आपको अलग से ही प्रैक्टिस करने पड़ेंगे. बस इन सारे सोर्सेज से आपकी रीडिंग की स्पीड अच्छी हो जाएगी. दैट्स इट. राइट. क्वेश्चंस वही है जो टॉपिक्स फिक्स्ड हैं, स्टैटिक है, जो आपको बताए जा रहे हैं, पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं. कीप ऑन प्रैक्टिसिंग फ्रॉम दोज सोर्सेज, दोज टॉपिक्स. द सोर्सेज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे डू नॉट मैटर. इट इज योर क्लैरिफिकेशन एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द कंसेप्ट दैट मैटर्स. सो कीप ऑन प्रैक्टिसिंग एज मच एंड stick with the sources that you are familiar with. Keep on reading from those sources only. That is it. You don't need anything extra. Now comes our topic, legal reasoning. Legal reasoning, they can surprise you. They can make the passage extremely short. They can make it extremely lengthy. So you cannot predict what they're going to do. There's so much to experiment with in this passage that there's no saying what they're going to do. Right? So all you can do is just fortify your concepts in legal reasoning. Now, one more thing that I would want to suggest you. When we are teaching you law, Surajit sir and I, when we are teaching you law, we are not doing it so that you can solve the questions. Legal knowledge in CLAT does not help you solve the questions. That is not the reason why we teach you law. Contract, constitution, family, crimes, miscellaneous. These are the topics that questions are asked from. Yes, we teach you contract, we teach you fundamental rights, we teach you what marriage is, we teach you what murder, culpable, homicide is. We give you every information possible and relevant for your exam, from your exam point of view. But we don't do it so that you can solve the questions. No. The idea and the agenda behind teaching you law is completely different. The agenda is for you to become familiar with law. You have to solve the questions from the passage, not by using your own knowledge. ये लीगल नॉलेज जो है वो बस इसलिए है ताकि आप पैसेज को फटाफट पढ़ के तुरंत समझ सकें. बस यही रोल है इसका. क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करने में आपकी लीगल नॉलेज नहीं यूज होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वरना आप वो आंसर सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे जो सही नहीं है। ये पैसेज बेस्ड एग्जाम है, यहाँ पे पैसेज को पढ़ के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना है, मतलब आंसर पैसेज के अकॉर्डिंग होना चाहिए, तुम्हें जो पता है उसके अकॉर्डिंग नहीं। तो अगर कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन है जहां पे एक पर्टिकुलर प्रिंसिपल अप्लाई हो रहा है, उस क्वेश्चन को पढ़ के तुम्हें समझ आता है कि यार यहाँ पे तो डिफेंस लग जाएगा, ये तो क्लियरली एक्ट ऑफ गॉड है, और कोइंसिडेंटली एक्ट ऑफ गॉड भी दे रखा है ऑप्शंस में, लेकिन एक्ट ऑफ गॉड का कोई मेंशन नहीं है पैसेज में, तो वो आंसर लॉजिकली सही हो सकता है लेकिन एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सही नहीं होगा, क्योंकि पैसेज ने तुम्हें वो इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दी है। तो आप क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करेंगे पैसेज के अकॉर्डिंग, नॉट अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट यू नो अबाउट लॉ। गॉट इट? During legal reasoning, it happens a lot. It's not just with you, Rashmi. It happens to everyone. While solving the questions, you might be conflicted among multiple options. Right? There are options that seem correct, multiple options that seem correct. In that situation, the option which is closest to the passage is correct. Okay? The option which is closest. So let's say you have A, B, C options. Now, or D also, 4 options. Now, you eliminate C and D because they do not fit. They do not fit the factual scenario. Okay, they do not fit the actual scenario. So what or how you solve the passages is you start eliminating. You read the principle and the principle is based on what is written in the passage. जब आप question को solve कर रहे हैं तो question से related information पैसेज में पहले ही अंडरलाइन होनी चाहिए. दिस इज वाई आई टेल यू टू रीड द क्वेश्चन बिफोर यू रीड द पैसेज. डोंट सॉल्व, जस्ट रीड. Read the question before you read the passage. After you have read the question and after you go to the passage, when you go to the passage after reading the question, your mind automatically focuses on the topic or the information that is there in the question. Right, that is there in the question. You immediately underline. You know what is there in the question. So you don't have to waste time reading and comprehending the entire passage from the scratch. No, you focus only on the information that is relevant for solving the question. Underline that information. Immediately jump over to the question. Try solving it according to the information given. Now, when you solve the question, eliminate the options that are completely wrong according to the passage. पैसेज के अकॉर्डिंग कौन सा ऑप्शन बिल्कुल ही फिट नहीं होगा, उनको काटना शुरू करो. उसके हिसाब से जितने ऑप्शन कट होते हैं उनको काट दो. ठीक है? अगर येस और नो का ऑप्शन है, आंसर है, और तुम्हें पता है कि आंसर येस ही हो सकता है, तो नो के सारे ऑप्शन काट दो. अगर येस से रिलेटेड 2 ऑप्शन है तो देखो कि पैसेज से क्लोजेस्ट कौन सा है. ओके, पैसेज से क्लोजेस्ट ऑप्शन कौन सा है उसको सेलेक्ट करो और वो आपका सही आंसर होगा. What is the difference between legal reasoning and legal aptitude? There's a CLAT contains both. Okay, legal reasoning and legal aptitude, CLAT contains both. So when you critically analyze something based on the aptitude of law, that is legal aptitude. When you apply law in a given set of situations, when you derive the answer using law as the reason, then it is legal reasoning. So legal reasoning basically is the, genus. Aptitude is the category or the species. Okay, so the fee for ALET is not 3050, it is 3500 for general and SC ST 1500. It's actually my mistake. I never focus on how much the form costs. I don't have to pay, no, so I really don't focus on the information regarding the payment. So I never know what the courses cost, what the forms cost. So yep, that is where I lack. So yes, guys, ALET 3500 for general, SC, ST 1500. Wow, difference. Right, so this is what you need to focus on while you are attempting legal reasoning. Okay, now these are the sources: case laws, newspaper, Bare Act, side pleaders. Type of questions are direct, inference based, application based. So these are the sources. Like I said, again, sources do not matter. Your concept has to be good. You should be able to understand what the author is telling you. You should be familiar with the legal jargons, the legal words, what is there in the passage, what the author is telling you. Underline the important information. What is author favoring? Underline it. If there are essentials, underline those essentials. If there is a definition, underline that definition, and now solve the question. Okay, take a pencil along with you, try underlining everything that you find important. Once you read the question, you will automatically understand what is important in the passage. So underline it immediately and start solving. Current affairs, as you can see, the sources are diverse. 200, 300 length is the word length. These are the topics, these are the sources: PIB, ISRO, RBI, magazine, Free Press, journal. Now this is where the sources are important. Okay, this is where the sources are important. Again, we do give you material beforehand. If you're preparing, most of the things can be prepared from newspaper. They do expect you to know what is happening, but they don't expect you to know everything that is happening. So just focus on the most important aspects of it. You don't have to read PIB analysis, what is ISRO doing, RBI doing. They create an unnecessary confusion. So stick to the good old familiar resource, which is newspapers. That's it. Okay, DI is important for CLAT. Yes. Okay, sorry. So these are the types of questions. They're passage related, direct, static, fact based, indirect. They can be anything. Passage might just be telling you the information that they're going to ask from. For example, they have discussed something about Indian democracy, and then they ask you who the president of India is. Right, so it can be an indirect question. The point is that you should be familiar with what is happening. If there has been a recent event, the chances are that it will be asked, no matter what the passage says. So these are the sources. They cover everything from each of the sources. From other sources, they have been covering a lot actually. In 2020 and 2021, they focused on other sources such as PIB, RBI, etc. Not so much in 22 because that made the paper more complicated. 22, they decided to be more lenient towards the current affairs portion, so they excluded this, only one passage. India Today, Indian Express, India Today, Guardian, Economic Time, Times of India, Hindu, all had one passage each. Okay. Now, quantitative techniques, 15 questions, 3 sets, caselet and data interpretation. Does that answer your question? Yes. DI is important for CLAT. Okay. These are types of questions: percentages, ratio, average. That's it. Can you do them? Of course you can. Of course you can. Even I can do them. Right. So DI set 1 had percentages. Actually, all the sets in 22 had percentages. Just set 3 had ratio also. 21, all the set had percentages. 20 was difficult, a little bit complicated. The questions in 2021 were also not that easy, despite the fact that they were from basic arithmetic. 2D geometry in 2020, set 1 and 2. Bar graph based concepts on average were there in the set 3. But again, the questions were not that difficult. 22, the questions were supremely easy, like they were so easy you can't even imagine. So that is where you shine, or that is where you can shine. Okay. Focus on the basics of mathematics. Focus on what your teacher is telling you. Practice a little bit every day and you can score very well in quantitative. Okay. That's it. Strategies, section wise strategy. English, you need to read this. These are the secret strategies. You read from the editorials, the Hindu, Express, novels, improve your vocabulary, work on your reading speed, grammar, excel in this section. Okay. Current affairs, unimportant news can be asked. Okay, regular update on current events are must. You need to have a 360-degree point of view on everything that is happening. Everything that is happening. So whenever you read an information, do not just stick to what is written in the newspaper. Try to find out what is not written in the newspaper. So if there is an additional information that you should know apart from that information given, Google it, immediately write it down in your notes. Okay, that's how you prepare in a wholesome manner for current affairs. Legal reasoning, develop your legal vocabulary so that you don't have to spend as much time in deciphering the passages. Clear your basic topics of core legal topics. Constitution, torts, contract and criminal. Core legal topics extremely important. Maximum questions would be there from these topics. If you understand the concept, you can solve 5 passages in no time. 3 passages would be from miscellaneous. Just solve them like any other unseen passage. Do not read everything available. Do not ask me, ma'am, will you teach international law? Will you teach us intellectual property law? Will you teach us this and that? No, I only focus on the core topics. A little bit of information is given to you from all the laws, but that information is not, it is only to give you an understanding. It doesn't really help you solve the passage. If the concept does come, you are very lucky, but the miscellaneous can be anything, but the passages, trust me, are very easy. So just take them like any unseen passage, solve them, you're good to go. These are the core topics or core laws that you need to focus on. Contract, tort, constitution, family and criminal. Family, very limited. Marriage, divorce, Hindu, Muslims. That is, Hindu marriage, Hindu divorce. Muslim marriage, Muslim divorce. That's it, right? Special Marriage Act is completely based on HMA. They have copy pasted Hindu Marriage Act and Special Marriage Act and changed the name. That's not right. They shouldn't have done it, but that's what it is. You don't have to read Special Marriage Act, not at all. Just understand the concept of marriage in both Hindus and Muslims. Now, quantitative techniques, this is the strategy. Practice from the book of 9th and 10th NCERT. Okay, just NCERT, not RS Agarwal. Clear your basics. Your teacher will tell you what basic questions are there, average, percentages, ratios, etc. Improve your calculation speed. There is no shortcut to do that. You can only do that by practicing. Like I said, 5 to 10 questions every day and you are done. Okay, practice questions every day, 5 to 10. That's it. You will score very well in mathematics. That score can take you to the top. These are the little sections that change the game altogether. Legal और GK पे हर कोई focus करता है. अब मैं तुम्हें अपनी secret strategy देती हूँ. Everybody focuses on the maximum or the biggest sections in the exam, which are legal and GK. You would also do it. What you won't do is focus on the little things, which is English and quantitative. इंग्लिश और क्वांटिटेटिव में अगर तुमने बढ़िया प्रैक्टिस कर ली तो तुम टॉप पे पहुंच सकते हो, भले ही तुमने लीगल और जीके में उतना अच्छा नहीं किया. लॉजिकल भी एक लेंदी सेक्शन है, ठीक है. इंग्लिश और क्वांट थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी होता है, कांस्टेंट प्रैक्टिस मांगता है. लॉजिकल में अगर आपका कंसेप्ट क्लियर है तो आप क्वेश्चन कर लेंगे. हफ्ते में 2 बार भी 3 बार भी प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो भी आप वेल वर्स्ड रहेंगे. सॉल्व करने का एक ही तरीका है, वो तरीका चेंज नहीं होगा. क्वांट और इंग्लिश में आपको रेगुलर प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है, वरना आप चीज़ों को भूल जाते हैं. वोकैबुलरी लगातार प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है, ग्रामेटिकल चीज़ों को बार बार प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज यू कंप्लीटली फॉरगेट एवरीथिंग. तो यहाँ पे इंग्लिश और क्वांट पे थोड़ा सा स्पेशल अटेंशन. इनफैक्ट आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट यू डू इंग्लिश एंड क्वांटिटेटिव एवरी डे. बाकियों को डिवाइड कर लो, ये है तुम्हारा टाइम, दिस इज योर टाइम टेबल. डू इंग्लिश एंड क्वांटिटेटिव एवरी सिंगल डे. Practice a little both from quantitative and English. Right after, now that 3 months are remaining, do a little bit of GK current affairs. You have to do it because you have to be updated with everything every day. So read a newspaper every day. Do a little bit of English. Do a little bit of quant. These are 3 things that you need to do. On what time are you doing it? It's your call. Okay. It's completely your call. How much time you are giving is again your call. How much questions do you wish to solve? also your call. I would suggest at least 15 questions from quant, at least 15 questions from English. Increase the frequency. Increase the frequency as the exam approaches, right? Newspaper every day. Now 3 subjects, apart from these 3 subjects, you can juggle between logical and legal. One day do logical or one day do legal, or don't do any of the subject. Do logical and legal thrice a week, or 4 times a week, not more. That should be your timetable. Okay, these 3 subjects, GK, English and quant, every day, Monday to Sunday, right? If you want to add a 4th law, which is obviously a 4th topic, which is obviously important, you can add it somewhere in between, twice a week, thrice a week, and that should do the job. If you still have time remaining, I would suggest take a mock at least 3 to 4 times a week. At least 3 to 4 times a week. That is how you are going to manage your last 3 months. And this will change your game altogether. पूरी कहानी चेंज हो जाएगी. और जहां पे आपने इस चीज को कर लिया लगातार 100 days, that is what I am telling you, the timetable. Come on, dude. This is the timetable. You want me to plan every hour of every 24, the entire 24 hour, do this from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. I've given you the major chunk of what you need to do every day. Decide what you need to do on your time. You must be having school, you must be having coachings and extra preparation. Okay, this is your timetable. Don't ask me again. This is your timetable. English, quant and GK every day, Monday to Sunday. Yeah, I know I need to have some water. I don't have water right now. Actually, I do. Just give me a second. Thank you so much for your concern. Your name is Himanshu, right? Very. Yes, I've been speaking for a long time now. Yeah, so everybody got your timetable? This is what you need to do. Okay, this will change the game. This is what your strategy is and the entire agenda of this session. Anybody, any question right now? ठीक है, फिर से समझ लो. Students who did not understand. English, quant, GK current affairs, every day, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday, a little bit, not too much, a little bit. Again, you cannot just solve the questions, you need to solve them with the passage. Passage के बिना नहीं solve करना है, वरना practice बिल्कुल waste हो जाएगी. Okay, you need to solve them with the passage. GK current affairs you can do without the passage. You just need to read the question paper. Oh, sorry. You just need to read the newspaper or whatever source you are referring to. Read a little bit from it every day. Revise it. Revise everything that you have studied on the end of the week. Practice these sections with passages. Don't do the questions without passages. ठीक है? Take a guide, take BYJU'S portal subscription, do what you have to do. Just practice these 3 things every day. Got it? Do not practice your questions, do not practice your concepts without passage. Otherwise, the entire exercise is a waste of time. पूरा पेपर पैसेज बेस्ड है. आप पैसेज के बिना प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर सकते और करने की कोशिश भी मत ना करें. ओके, यस. सो लाइक आई सेड, लीगल और लॉजिकल में जगल करते रहना. ओके, यस. Okay, so I have covered the entire screen. Logical में practice is must. Like I told you, it's all about practice. The more you practice, the better you become. Concepts remain the same. The way to solve the question paper also remains the same. Is it possible? 10 hours of study. NLS को निकालना possible है, लेकिन लगातार 3 महीने तक 10 घंटे पढ़ना इम्पॉसिबल है. अचीवेबल गोल सेट करो अपने लिए, ठीक है. डू नॉट कंसिडर योर सेल्फ एनीथिंग अदर देन अ 17-18 ओल्ड चाइल्ड. 10 घंटे रोज कोई नहीं पढ़ सकता, मैं भी नहीं पढ़ सकती, तो वो मत करो जो तुम कर नहीं सकते. जस्ट स्टडी समथिंग एवरी डे. डोंट स्टडी एवरीथिंग इन वन डे. मेंटेन द कंसिस्टेंसी, नॉट द क्वांटिटी. ठीक है, इतना सारा पढ़ लेता हूँ, रोज पढ़ता हूँ 10-10 12-12 घंटे, नहीं है. थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ो लेकिन रोज पढ़ो, और जितना थोड़ा पढ़ रहे हो उसे अच्छे से पढ़ो. गॉट इट? 100-day plan. Hours needed, 75 hours you need for concepts. 75 hour needed for specific topic revision. 100 hour for mocks. Total 2400 hours. 20 hours per week should be your average study. आपको एक हफ्ते में कम से कम 20 आवर्स तो देने ही हैं पढ़ाई में. लेकिन ये 20 आवर्स, इस 20 आवर्स को आप कैसे डिवाइड करते हैं इज योर कॉल. But this is the average that you need to devote to your CLAT right now, 3 months before the exam. Got it? अब how you divide it, it's your volition, completely your discretion. But nothing less than this. ज़्यादा भी करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ज़्यादा भी बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. 20 hours is ideal, ठीक है. बट जितना टाइम आप पढ़ाई को दे रहे हो, ठीक है, उतने टाइम आपको सिर्फ पढ़ाई ही करनी है. इंस्टाग्राम को बीच बीच में स्क्रॉल कर लिया, मैम का फोटो लाइक कर दिया, वो वीडियो देख लिया, कुछ कर लिया, कॉल लगा लिया, व्हाट्सएप पे दोस्त से पूछ लिया हाँ भाई क्या कर रहा है. डोंट डू इट. अवॉइड ऑल डिस्ट्रैक्शंस. ठीक है, 20 को 7 से डिवाइड कर लो, उतने आवर्स तुम्हें हर दिन देने चाहिए अपनी पढ़ाई को. इफ इट इज एनीथिंग, if you are studying for 3-4 hours a week, maybe 20 hours is somewhere about a little less than 3 hours a day, right? इतना बहुत है, trust me. अब तुम कहोगे मैम बस 3 ही घंटे पढ़ाई करनी है. 3 घंटे पढ़ाई का मतलब है 3 घंटे सिर्फ पढ़ाई और कुछ भी नहीं, nothing whatsoever. तब हुआ ये judicious utilization. वरना तुमने टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया, 20 घंटे तुमने हफ्ते के बर्बाद कर दिए. अगर तुम इसे बढ़ा सकते हो, 4 to 5 hours a day कर सकते हो, वो भी कर दो. Like I said, ओवर बर्डन नहीं करना है खुद को. ठीक है, यू आर नॉट अ मशीन, यू आर अ ह्यूमन बीइंग हु कैन फंक्शन ऑन अ लिमिटेड फ्यूल फॉर अ लिमिटेड टाइम. ओवर एग्जॉस्ट कर लोगे अपने आप को तो दूसरे दिन पढ़ ही नहीं पाओगे. तो जो 5-6 घंटे तुमने एक दिन पढ़े, नेक्स्ट डे 24 आवर्स खा गए वो तुम्हारा. तो ओवर एक्सर्ट नहीं करना है, उतना ही पढ़ना है जितना कि आप पढ़ सके. You made it possible, 6 hours a day for CUSET. Well, great, very good. When to take mocks? September, October, November, December. Now, do you know why we have mentioned all the dates? It means that we expect you to take 1 mock every day. I usually suggest that 4 to 5 mocks in a week are enough. But if you are taking 1 mock every day, it's super. It's amazing. The kind of practice that it is offering you, the kind of preparation or the advantage or addition that it is doing to your preparation, your reading, your efficiency, your accuracy is unimaginable. So if you can do it, the suggestion is definitely do 1 mock every day. But if it is not possible, if it takes too much toll on you, if it is too much of a burden, students do get intimidated by mocks, you can do 4 to 5 mocks a week. That is enough. Okay. How to analyze the mocks? Try out different approach. What could you have done better? Try to understand कि आपने अगर questions गलत किए हैं तो क्यों किए. Try to figure out your mistakes. Try not to repeat them in future. If you attempted a question wrong, despite the fact that you knew the question, understand why you did it wrong and try solving it again. Try to get the correct answer before you check what the correct answer is. If there is a question that you attempted wrong, try solving all those questions again. See if you get them right the next time. अगर वो दूसरी बार सही हो जाते हैं तो immediately पता लगाओ कि दूसरी बार कैसे सही हो गए, पहली बार क्यों नहीं सही हुए, और वही स्ट्रैटेजी नेक्स्ट मॉक में अडॉप्ट करो. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, नॉलेज नहीं थी, तो उस चीज को पढ़ लो. अगर आते हुए भी गलत हो गया तो देखो भाई गलती क्यों हो गई, गलत आता था, कम आता था, क्या था. Try to understand your weaknesses, and this happens with every mock analysis. Whenever you take a mock, it is not just the exercise of taking a mock that is important. You need to analyze what you did in the mock. How well did you perform? अच्छा किया, बुरा किया, बेहतरीन किया, बहुत बुरा किया, इन सब को तुम्हें ही एनालाइज करना है. अपनी मिस्टेक्स को तुम्हें ही आइडेंटिफाई करना है और उन मिस्टेक्स को तुम्हें ही सुधारना भी है. तो सब कुछ जब तुम्हें ही करना है तो करो फिर, राइट. ट्राई टू फिगर आउट व्हाट बेटर phenomena can you adopt to read a passage quickly, to solve a question quickly, right? Finalize the section sequence. After giving multiple mocks, you get the hang of which section should you attempt first. My suggestion is attempt GK first, go for English second, keep legal for third, then take logical, at the end take quant. इसको जगल कर सकते हो, इसको सब्स्टिट्यूट भी कर सकते हो, राइट. लेकिन जीके को सबसे पहले करना है और जीके के बाद एक और सेक्शन करके लीगल करना है. अब इसके बीच में तुम क्या फिट करते हो वो तुम अपने हिसाब से डिसाइड कर लो, बट जीके सबसे पहला होना चाहिए. ओके. Find out where you went wrong, connect with the faculty, we'll help you in the respective sections. Right. Okay, so it's actually a lot of time. It's already 10:30. I wanted to do questions with you, but I think that would be too much. So let's leave the question for some other day. And that is it for today. I hope it helped you, right? ये सारी strategies, ये सारी सीक्रेट्स, ये सब कुछ ट्रिक्स आपको अपनी प्रिपरेशन में अडॉप्ट करनी है. आखिरी 3 महीने में आप क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, व्हाट ऑल यू कैन डू, व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज ऑल discussed with you, right? So I hope you incorporate all these strategies and tricks in your preparation. Try to achieve maximum in the limited time. You can still change the game. You can still top CLAT. Okay, you can still get NLS in 3 months. Yes, it is possible if you prepare in a smart manner. So there is a way that you prepare. I've already told you the way. Focus on the littlest things that nobody focuses upon. Try to get the grasp of the most important topics. Practice those topics as much as possible. Can you crack CLAT just with YouTube? No, not possible. You need to make extra effort also, right? So that's it for today, guys. I shall see you again tomorrow. Till then, everybody take care. Thank you so much. Wonderful teaching you, telling you all this stuff. Take care.